This ghost mining town faded as quickly as it rose. Today, we are in Nevada to understand how a gold claim found in the scorching heat of the desert directly impacted the lives of nearly 10,000 people. This is the story of Rhyolite. Why is this town called Rhyolite in the first place? It is the name of a rock derived from Ryax, which means a flow of lava. Rhyolite is a rock formed from explosive volcanoes. It's made when thick, silica-rich lava cools slowly enough to create a rock, but not sufficient to form granite. It's a rock that's much harder to find on the Earth's surface. And so, Rhyolite, the town, is named after a rare rock in which the gold was present. Nevada's mines dried up at the end of the 19th century, and the state's economy suffered. In 1900, prospectors around what is now Tonopah uncovered a deposit of silver, and a new spark quickly lit in the area. The ore was a small glitter of hope in a dry and unforgivable desert. But it wasn't enough to save Nevada's crumbling economy. People were leaving the region and relocating to budget-friendly places in California. However, in August of 1904, the discovery by Frank Harris and E. Cross would revitalize a whole new area that they called Bullfrog Hills for the green rhyolite resembling a bullfrog in which the gold lay dormant. A new era had begun. Rhyolite was born. Millions of years ago, the land surrounding Rhyolite was under pressure. The earth gave in and cracked open slowly in a maze of fractures and faults. Interestingly, the cracks created around Rhyolite were all mostly vertical. These vertical cracks created a low-pressure path, much like when drinking Coca-Cola from a straw at McDonald's. Deep below, superheated water, rich in volcanic gases, carried dissolved gold, silver, and sulfur through the cracks. And when it cooled down, left behind some calcite, pyrite, chalcopyrite, quartz, and gold. That's where gold collected, not in big nuggets, but in fine grains or microscopic flecks, locked inside what is called veins. It's these veins that attracted the attention of Harris and Cross. The hype surrounding the claim outweighed any serious financial analysis it deserved. The hope was strong for the state and individuals involved in the investment. Soon, the wind of rumors was howling of a gold claim in the Bullfrog Hills. Some claimed the find was in the millions of dollars, a fortune back then. Little did anyone know the danger lying ahead. Men from all over were soon catching trains to get to this new settlement and start a new fortune. Whole families were arriving from the quickly built tracks weekly. 3 railroad routes were now serving the bustling, booming town. The name on everyone's mouth? Rhyolite. The town was soon boasting of being one of the most significant settlements of the region by 1907, only 3 years after the initial discovery by the two men. By this time, estimates say that as many as 10,000 residents had already called Rhyolite home. Many investors thought that Rhyolite would survive for a long time. Hence, buildings like the central bank were constructed with reinforced concrete. The Rhyolite Herald, a local newspaper, was often poking fun at Beatty, a town 4 miles east of Rhyolite, for which both cities were in a fight for their survival. Deep down, each city knew that one had to die for the other to live on. Little did Rhyolite knew that its glory days had already passed. Scholars and historians do not always agree on the real reason for the decline, but the main contributing factor was another green commodity. The claim of the total value of gold in the mountains would later be rebutted by experts and found to be false. The financial crisis of 1907 and the depletion of the ore in the mountains forced the company running the mine to audit the value left to mine. The signs were not green, but rather red. The subsequent closure of the Montgomery Shoshone mine meant the town was already on its last legs. By 1910, only 611 residents were remaining in the city. In 1916, the few people left over shut down lights and power to the town, the equivalent of losing internet today. The shine of this city had diminished forever. With its opening, Rhyolite rose during an era of blind optimism and wild speculation. It reflected a time defined by chasing prosperity, no matter the consequences to human lives. The town could not survive and adapt to a quickly shifting world. The tensions and stakes were equally insurmountable for the Golden Settlement. With its closure came a deafening silence. A stark reminder that no single commodity could sustain a city forever. Diversification has become vital for survival in this new age. Even if gold had been more plentiful in the jumping hills, Rhyolite would not have lasted long. As World War I crept closer on the horizon, the United States turned its sight to different ores. Copper and iron were both more important for the conflict than gold. And so, the state's most brilliant geologists were now being reassigned to different tasks. Even through the scorching heat of the desert and the countless promises of riches, gold had failed. In the next episode, we will dig into how coal mining significantly affects the workers underground and the communities above. Stay tuned. For more on everything about minerals, visit my channel, Mindex. Thank you for sticking to the end, and please do not forget to caldera the like and subscribe buttons. Always, peace out.